Monster Hunter Wilds is the most 2025 video game of all time, with some of the most enjoyable freeform hunting I ever played in the series, and wonderful gameplay, while also having the worst optimization I have ever seen, meaning that even my RTX 3060 can barely work at 60 FPS, with AI gen frames on the lowest settings possible on a game that costs $70. And don't even get me started on the decoration system, which is a downgrade from Rise, though despite the smallish roster of monsters, I would have to say that each monster does have quite a bit of quality to them. So I plan to talk about each monster in the game over time and honestly just yap about them for a bit. Nothing more to really say, so let's just get started. Starting off with Chatacabra, I think he's a great starter monster for the game. He has a simple fight, has a few variations of his swams and tongue attacks, has a charge and a jump, but besides that he has nothing too unique, flashy, or weird, and those attacks either have a long enough windup or are slow enough where you can either dodge them or block them without much issue. Though if you're like me, you'll still get hit since I'm so focused on spinning around with dual blades that even though I have one of the best weapons for evasive options and all that, I still get animation blocked from swinging around too much and get hit. Overall, he serves his purpose as an early game punching bag really well, and while not as memorable as a great Jaggy for me since I started out with 3rd gen, perfect sound design, I still think he's one of the more unique starting monsters in the series. Though Wyveria probably needs to answer on what's in the water to make the friggin' frogs buff, since I doubt it's just the wyvern milk. Quematrice is the early game brute wyvern of Wilds, very much taking on the role of something like Baroth in earlier games. And his fight is interesting for early game brute wyvern, with the tail being the main focus of the fight as it swings it around to create waves of fire or to slap you in the face with it. And these fire attacks can actually do some reasonable damage as well as cover some area, since both the flames and the tail are hitboxes, though there is one problem for me personally. You can cut off the tail and it will turn off all its fire attacks completely, and while normally I'm actually really positive about part breaks changing the fight, for example Barioth slipping on the ice when you break both its claws for example, it feels a bit too easy and a bit too crippling to do it with the Angry Fire Chicken. It just seems way too easy to cut it off, and after that, his moveset is so crippled that he poses very little threat. Then again, I'm very aggressive with dual blades, often to my detriment, and he's a very early game fight, so it makes sense that something like this may happen, but I really hope that after they update the game to actually be playable for people who don't own a supercomputer, that they can maybe give him a few more moves to bolster his moveset even after his tail gets cut off. Maybe a body check, maybe a fast lunge, but the Angry Fire Chicken needs a little help in my opinion. He does make chicken noises though, so 10 out of 10. Moving over to the Sandworm, Balahara is an interesting take on how to make a Leviathan with a Royal Rudroth body structure work in a desert environment. The turf war and relationship between him and Doshaguma are excellent and a joy to watch. His sand pits and lunging out of sand to crash into you are neat overall as attacks, though some of his attacks are pretty fast and can be hard to dodge, like his tail stab or his mud shots, which are a nightmare for me to dodge apparently. I found out if you hug his side while he does some variations of his mud attacks, you can actually dodge it decently easily, which at least helps a bit, but for some reason I can never dodge it that well, probably because I'm again an overly aggressive dual blades main. And his wear attack where he climbs up onto a rock and spit mud at you is fun, though it's a wear attack that's very easy to counter with a grappling hook. Overall, he's a standard but solid Monster Hunter fight on all fronts, with a fun theme and overall moveset that makes him an enjoyable fight. Though, to be honest, I still feel violated every time he pukes on me. Maybe not as much when the Roid Rage Toad wicks me, but it's close. Now to the big bruiser of the area, Doshaguma is a really interesting idea on how to implement a monster's behavior into the game. Since Doshaguma tend to form packs, occasionally an alpha Doshaguma will spawn alongside a smaller group of lesser Doshaguma who will follow him around, with you needing to use dung pods to separate the pack if you want to hunt the alpha, which is a spawning behavior that's only shared with young Kutku, and even still the game just spawns a lot of them at once instead of a single big individual and a smelly and rowdy posse. Besides that, how they implemented him into the main story was alright, with a feeling like they were trying to give him that imposing status they gave Anjanath in the early game of World. Fight-wise, his moveset is well-rounded, lots of claw attacks, lunges, swams, and is very aggressive with them as well. He does well if he needs to turn around quickly, since a few of those attacks are meant to hit you if you're behind him or on his sides. So he really does well as the brute of the Windward Plains, even if he has to play second fiddle compared to the main apex of the area. And finally, to the Sultan of the Windward Plains, Rey Dau is a really fun take on the electric flying wyvern idea. Since, unlike Astalos, who mainly just wants to rush you down and pummel you into the dirt, Rey Dau has a big fucking railgun.
That doesn't look good. Shoot.
ACDC.
So yeah, Rey Dau is way more long range than Astalos, with him having several long range lightning attacks, either taking the form of several less damaging blasts he fires off in a row, or a large powerful charge shot that will basically have a decent chance to one-shot you. And combined with some actual decent close range attacks like the horn jab, or a flying strafing run or the slam with his bladed wing, he has more than enough flexibility to pose a threat at any range. Though to make up for this, his charged lightning shot is heavily telegraphed and has a bit of a wind-up, which means of course I got hit by it.
Here's your electric bill.
Overall, he's a hard-hitting monster with a lot of range, but if you're not so aggressive you fail to see even the most obvious wind-ups to his attacks, aka me, there is room to dodge, and is a fitting apex that goes along well with the lightning theme of the area wonderfully. Alright, well I hope everyone enjoyed the video. So this is going to be kind of more unscripted part of the video right now, just kind of end stuff off and kind of discuss a few things. Just wrap everything up nicely, and just kind of explain myself a little bit and explain what's going on. So, upload schedule. I understand it's a bit messy, as in very unstable, and unfortunately this stuff recently has not been going the best. I'll just say that. Won't go into it too much. And I took off some time to focus on other projects. Those projects haven't gone the best. I'm getting stuff done here and there, but overall it isn't the best. So, but I'm back here again, have some time and energy to do this stuff again, which I'm really happy about. And I won't say when I'll make these videos, but I do want to try and make these scripted videos a bit more. Try and get these videos out more and just work on that more. So I won't say when because I'll probably break it because something else will pop up. So the vague soon shall be used. I guess when, I'll soon upload when I can, so we'll see. Yeah, I do apologize for that, really, so I try to improve. I'll try to improve it best I can and all that, so we'll see how stuff goes there. Overall, yeah, that's pretty much mostly what I want to talk about at the moment, but overall I've been pretty happy to enjoy Wilds. It's definitely a game that came out half-baked, in my personal opinion. I actually like the story decently well. The optimization is awful, so new graphics card and my new drivers, my new BIOS, my new everything can't run it. And it's just like, do I want to spend $1,000 on a new GPU? Probably not. So, guess we're stuck here then. Yeah, overall, I had a great time making this video. It's been great to get back to it. And overall, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I appreciate everyone stopping by. Of course, like, comment, subscribe if you so desire to, both to the main channel and to the VOD channel, or if you want to go to Twitch to watch me flail against video games and fail horribly. You're more than welcome to do that. Discord's down below. Despite that, so long as you enjoyed the video, that's the main thing. And yeah, stay warm, stay safe everyone. See you guys next time wherever it may be. So yeah, good night everyone. Ciao.